Welcome to the Wizard and Wireless Network podcast with me, a COVID-stricken AJ.
And me, Will.
Together, we will be bringing you our no-holds-barred thoughts, opinions, and detailed analysis on all things Wizard and World. So with that in mind, grab yourself a glass of fire whiskey and settle into this week's episode of the WWN.
Welcome back to the Wisdom Wireless Network with your hosts AJ and Will. On this week's episode, we'll be going back to Hogwarts.
Where? Back to Hogwarts. Say it with conviction. We're going back to Hogwarts.
What did I say?
We go. You sounded as if you didn't know where we were going.
We're going back
to Hogwarts.
Is it there? Are we going to Hogwarts? I think we are.
We did. We went back to Hogwarts. We trotted all on down to King's Cross Station in the crack of dawn in the middle of a tube strike because we are what? Sad.
Convicted, yeah, pretty much. Demented. But no, we went down and seen what Wizard and World had to offer for the Back to Hogwarts celebration on the 1st of September at King's Cross Station. What was your thoughts, Will? Well, I managed to kind of get there just as things were kind of kicking off. I mean, we were obviously planning on getting there a lot earlier, and I ended up getting you to get there for, 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
And bless you, because of all the trains, I ended up getting there, 9 by the point that I actually got there. I mean, the thing is, the crowd was amazing. It was a huge turnout.
Do you know, right, and God forgive me for saying this, but see whenever any one of the presenters said, this is the biggest crowd we've seen at one of these events, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the smallest crowd I've ever seen. But then I realised I was actually standing at the front and I couldn't see behind me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I watched it back on the Wizard and World social media stuff. And I was like, oh my God, you physically cannot move. That it is sheer standing room. And then after 11 o'clock, after the announcement and all the kind of buzz had started to die down a little bit, trying to walk out of the station, it took me a solid 10-15 minutes just to walk from one end to the other because you could not move for bodies. It was jam-packed.
Literally, I turned around a few times and literally the whole of the balcony behind was just packed with people. And generally, I think this was the largest crowd that it's had. And that's saying something, considering the last one that we went to was the one that literally came out just after lockdown was lifted and everyone just flocked there. And I thought that was a huge crowd.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that year because it was the first one after COVID and everybody was just so excited to get out and get back to the magic and just get in amongst the community again, which was really nice. And it was lovely to see this year that almost that crowd from the previous year had almost doubled, essentially.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think it doubled because you had a lot more people from other countries come. I think last year it was very much people from the UK. This time round, it was very much people had travelled to come to this.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly was a global event. It was really nice to be able to try and connect with some people who you only really see on Instagram. You only know them by their Instagram handle, but it's nice to put a name to the handle.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those events that really brings, especially kind of the Pottergram kind of family kind of together. A lot of people that you, like you said, you only know by their Instagram handles, you suddenly get to know them face to face.
Yeah. And it's so nice to be able to connect with people on that level. And it's funny because when you meet these people for the first time, it's almost as if you've known them for years. And you connect with them on almost a spiritual level. It's very deep and cliche and horrifically cheesy as that sounds. But that is what it does feel like.
I think part of that is because actually we end up spending so much time talking to each other through messages, over comments, and just like generally sharing a lot of content together. Actually, when you then do get to see them face to face, it does feel like you've just known them and you've chatted to them for years.
Exactly. And this is the thing that I absolutely love about the Pottergram community, is the fact that there's so many different people that are within the community. They're so different in backgrounds, and they're from all other parts of the world, but the content that they put out is absolutely phenomenal. And it's just a case of, it makes you feel like you're part of the world with them. And whenever one of your friends puts out a good bit of content and everyone hypes them up, it just feels so nice.
I think part of that is because, like you said, the community is so diverse. You've got so many different types of content being created that actually there's always something that you relate to.
Yeah.
What did you then actually think of the Back to Hogwarts event?
I mean, so the event itself, so this was, I want to say, the third or the fourth one that I've been to. The first one I went to was pre-COVID. Was it the second one that was post-COVID? Yeah, the second one was post-COVID, and the third one was the one that we just did. So that was 3 that I've been to. Overall, I would probably say that out of the 3, this one had to probably be my least favourite. And it's not because I didn't enjoy it. I do want to say that there. I did enjoy the event as such, because I got to see all of my friends. I got to meet other people who I'd only really met through Instagram, and to be part of that atmosphere. And the Wizarding World team put on such a brilliant show. And the amount of effort and manpower to go in to make that happen is phenomenal. And I wholeheartedly appreciate them. 100% I do. The first one that I went to, probably one of my favourites, because it was the first time that I had moved down from Glasgow to London, went out and met a couple of other people who just liked Harry Potter as much as I did, but they were complete and total strangers. Cut to 3-4 years later, they're some of my best friends. Then the one after COVID, as I said, it was the most amazing feeling to come out of lockdown, to get back to the magic. And then I think those 2 for me really do stand out for those reasons. What about yourself?
I think I'm kind of the same. This was my second Back to Hogwarts event. So mine were this year and the year before.
Yeah.
So I had never gone to one of these events pre-COVID. So my own experience is purely based on a comparison from what was happening last year to this year. And I think actually, in terms of what was available, there seemed to be a lot more to do last year.
Yeah.
There was a lot more. I think they amped up last year the interactivity of it all. I think this year really heavily relied on the Hogwarts Legacy stations and the kind of games that they put in, rather than getting crowds involved and doing things together.
Yeah. But saying that though, the quiz that Sam Thompson did, that was really good fun. And I am not going to lie, those questions were hard.
They were absolutely ridiculously hard for a public quiz.
A public quiz? Do you know what? I will say I thought I knew that answer to that question. You and I both thought we knew the answer to that question. We both said the answers and we both got it wrong. And don't get me wrong, slightly mortified that I got it wrong in front of everybody in King's Cross Station. But we move.
Yeah.
We move.
Yep, I did see some photos afterwards. I think someone captured a picture of me and my face was quite red afterwards.
But those questions were hard.
Because your one was the number plate of the model number of the Hogwarts, wasn't it?
Right, yeah, see, this is the thing. So it's, what is the model number of the Hogwarts Express? And so in my mind, it was 5972.
Which is what everyone, I think, was going for, which is that number on the front.
Yeah. Now, there was a guy who said that answer in front of me. And I thought, because I remember looking at it the night before because I was watching Philosopher's Stone. And I remember looking, and I knew it was 972. And I thought, well, if it's not 5972, it must be 4972. And it started to make sense in my brain. So then that's when I come out and said that. And then he said, no, that's not it. And I thought, but what can it be? And then when we actually did Google it, I mean, what was it? Was it something like Great Western? It was like the actual model of the train.
Yeah, it was everything, because they started saying like, oh no, it needs to have like some letters in there. And everyone just started at that point just looking at each other going, what? It's only got numbers.
Well, exactly. So wait a minute. Let me see here. Where is it? Where is it? I'm on the Google. So the Hogwarts Express is a 460 Hall-class steam locomotive, model number GWR 5900. However, on the front of it, it does say
5942.
5972.
Yes.
Oh, you got it right.
This is why I didn't put my hand up for that one.
To be fair, I was going to make a remake of that meme that I did from the year before, but then I got it wrong and I thought, what's the point? What's the point in living anymore?
At least you didn't say your name in public.
I think I did.
Did you?
I don't know. But saying that, my accent's quite thick, so I could have said Adrian and no one would know.
All I got was a text from Adam just saying, was that you over the speakers? And I was like, no, they got it wrong. It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me. It was not me in any way, shape or form. As I say, I did enjoy the day. But for me, the whole part of that day is not the fact of the countdown. It's not the fact of just going to platform 9 3/4. It's meeting up with the people. It's meeting up with your friends. It's very rare that you actually do get to have like a once in a blue moon opportunity to get all these Harry Potter geeks together in such a large venue and be able to converse as if you've seen each other the day before.
It is literally like a Comic-Con, but purely Harry Potter.
Yeah. They really need to market one of those, specifically just for Harry Potter. UK based.
Yeah, UK based. Let's just make that clear.
Yeah.
Before we get anyone commenting going, well, you've got LeakyCon.
Yeah. But we don't.
Not over in the UK. We don't.
We have nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
All right, calm down, Les Mis.
It's actually Whitney Houston. Jesus Christ.
So, looking over then the day, what we actually then did get this year. So the majority of the day was hosted by Sam Thompson again. So he was the same guy who hosted it last year, albeit he's now hosting it by himself this year.
And do you know what? I will say something. See, Sam Thompson, he's an absolute legend. I must admit, I really enjoyed him hosting both years that I've seen him do it. Absolutely phenomenal. He is just such a geek, like us. And that's the thing. He's just so relatable, so down to earth. And he loves Harry Potter as much as we do, which is all you really want from a host.
Exactly. It's someone who actually just has the same level of enthusiasm as the audience does. And did you actually get to meet him afterwards?
Yes and no. We did a little segment called Muggle on the Street. Were you there for that?
No, I wasn't.
Right, I can't remember who I was with. I think it was with Shannon. I was with Shannon, Angela, and Mel. And they were doing this thing and it was called Muggle on the Street, and it was just asking a couple of generic questions like to the crowd and stuff. So I didn't get to meet him like one-on-one, but I did that little segment with him.
Was that a little quiz that you guys were doing over by the entrance?
No, so that was with Brett's Thoughts, another TikToker YouTuber. So this was later on in the day.
Okay.
But I know that you and Thomas met him, didn't you?
Yeah, so we made a point of going up to, because he was actually just stood by the butterbeer stall that they had outside of King's Cross.
Yeah.
And we made a point to kind of go up and actually just start chatting with him, got a photo with him.
Oh, lovely.
But generally, he couldn't have been more enthusiastic about the day, and actually just the level of hype just from him was incredible.
Yeah.
But he was so genuinely nice. I even so he said like, "How was your day?" And I said that besides getting the question wrong,
Yeah.
everything was fine. And then at that moment, you saw the kind of penny drop, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it was you." And then
Yeah.
like after that, we just had a bit more of a conversation. It was just such a good kind of just icebreaker. Like even though I got the question wrong, it was just a thing of actually that was a bit more noticeable than not getting it right in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we managed to get a photo with him, and then we just kind of exited out of the queue. We ended up forgetting that we were actually in line for a butterbeer.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think I actually did get a butterbeer this year. And I must admit, I'm an absolute slag for a butterbeer. I bloody love it.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. Oh. Do they do alcoholic butterbeer? They do. I'm sure they do at Universal.
I must admit, it would have to be at Universal. If anywhere did it, it would be Universal.
Yeah. I've not had it though. I would try it.
Surely all it would be is just you'd get the ready-made butterbeer and you'd either put rum or vodka in.
Probably.
Or could you think like a spiced rum in butterbeer?
Yeah. With a bit of cinnamon.
Oh,
Saying that, do you remember that? Do you remember that night you came over to my flat and I made you a homemade fire whiskey? Did I ever tell you what the recipe for that was? I just handed you a shot glass.
and you just drink this. No, you didn't.
Do you remember it at all?
Vaguely.
Or did you black out afterwards?
I think it was a blackout afterwards.
Yeah, no, so I think what I did was I got a shot of whiskey that we got at a distillery tour ages ago. And then I got a shot of tequila and just put it on top of that. No wonder you can't remember it.
So not only did we have Sam Thompson host, but he was then joined by a very special guest who helped do the countdown, which, bless him, was the winner of the Wizarding World competition.
Yeah.
So bless him. I mean, he did a really fantastic job of doing the countdown. He was really enthusiastic.
Yeah, he was really sweet, to be fair. He was so sweet.
Although I do wish it was me.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. We all wish it was us. But in a way, we all did do the countdown, didn't we?
That is true. It is a huge group event, and it's almost like counting down to the start of like a concert.
Yeah.
It's that level of enthusiasm, that level of like...
Exactly. Saying that, do you remember last year when it got to 11 o'clock and the announcement came over and it said this train is departing and going to Leeds? We were like, Leeds?
Leeds? I don't think it is.
I know.
I think this is why I got so confused at the beginning of the video. I didn't know whether we're going back to Leeds or Hogwarts.
Exactly, I know. Yeah, so no, it was interesting because Sam Thompson has said that his arms were covered in tattoos, but he said that he had 3 tattoos, and 3 of them were Harry Potter related.
Oh.
Or rather, he's got like a whole arm of tattoos, but 3 of them were Harry Potter related. I think one of them was the Elder Wand, the other one was the Marauder's Map Footsteps, and the other one said Mischief Managed.
Okay, so they're not like massive tattoos.
No, it's not like a full-blown like sleeve of Dumbledore.
Yes.
So that if you don't have any Harry Potter tattoos, do you?
I don't know. I've got one, but it's not a Harry Potter tattoo.
No. But what would you get if you had to get one? What would you get? Like a Harry Potter tattoo?
I think. See, I've already kind of thought about this one. Actually, this is the one question you've asked me, and I've actually got an answer for you straight away. So, I would probably have a Tales of the Three Brothers tattoo.
So, like, in what instance, like the Deathly Hallows tattoo or the 3 figures?
Probably like a mixture of both. I'd probably have like the symbol in the middle with kind of like the death figure around the outside, kind of like clutching the Deathly Hallows symbol itself, and you have like the three brothers at the bottom.
Oh wow, you have thought about that.
Maybe.
Would you get it?
I don't know. I think it would definitely be something that's down the line. I think my mind changes so much about the Harry Potter tattoo. I haven't got one that I would be like, that's the one I'm getting.
So, well, where would you get it?
I would probably get it probably on my calf,
Okay.
because my other one's on my thigh, so it makes sense to kind of like carry on like having like tattoos down one leg.
Okay, first you would have like not a sleeve, but like a trouser leg tattoo.
More like a stocking.
A stocking-ette tattoo. Da 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 da.
What about you? Would you ever get a Harry Potter tattoo?
Probably. I really want to get one just sort of behind my elbow.
Okay.
And I don't know what I would get. I sort of keep chopping and changing.
Between what and what?
Well, that's the thing. I keep going back to one thing, and it's just the 3 Quidditch hoops.
Okay, that's very fitting for you. So yeah.
So just the 3 Quidditch hoops, but that's it so far.
Okay.
So
Maybe
far.
McGonagall.
No, I just...
Do the statues.
No, you know, the thing is, I could not walk about with Maggie Smith on my arm.
Not necessarily Maggie Smith per se, but maybe like either like her wand or maybe like the cat, something a bit more like abstract. That's not like this is Maggie Smith, because especially if HBO starts releasing it as a different cast,
No, she will live forever on my arm.
immortalized on AJ's elbow.
Maggie Smith.
So we had a lot of fans who came in costumes.
Yeah.
A lot of people that we've seen before, and a few people that you know outside of kind of like Instagram.
Yeah. We know the Karen plays Bellatrix Lestrange phenomenally, I might add. Every time she sees me, she calls me Gryffindor scum, and I genuinely can't not love it. That's her way of giving me a hug, and I appreciate that.
You take it when you can.
Oh, I really do. And then we've also got Kat. She's Lego Luna on Instagram. Oh my goodness. Now, this year, she came as the Trolley Witch.
You were blown away by this.
I was astounded by it. It was so bloody good. I absolutely loved it. It was just genius. And just like, to go and get an actual cart and fill it up with sweets and take it around as well. I mean, for one, she'll never be hungry.
I really wanted to know, Luna, if you're watching this, please let me know if you actually carried that trolley around with you, because honestly, I don't know how you managed to carry that around the entire event and afterwards all day.
Yeah. Oh, also, as a side note, did you see the thing that Lego Luna gave me?
No.
It was a beautiful... What you call those things that Ginny's got?
Oh, Pygmy Puff.
Yeah, so she handmade me a Pygmy Puff in a Bo Batten's outfit.
Oh.
I will send you a picture and you can insert it, but it is nameless. I need a name.
Okay, guys, this is the challenge for you then. We need to name AJ's Pygmy Puff.
Yes.
We need suggestions. We will do shall we do like a potluck? Shall we do a spin the wheel? What shall we do? Let's do a vote.
Like, is that
Oh, is this the blue? Is this the blue thing that you were holding?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's it.
Gotcha. Okay. Now I know what you mean. Yep.
There we go.
Got it. Light bulb moment finally hit. You know.
Way. Oh, you got it right.
So one of the things that actually then happened this year, which I was fairly disappointed with, but also pleased with, it was a bit of a weird mix, was the cast from The Cursed Child. Now, I love seeing little Q&As that they do.
Yep.
But in comparison to last year where they got the entire cast to do a performance in King's Cross.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've seen the Wand Dance perform twice, and I absolutely love it. I was genuinely disappointed that the cast didn't come back to do the Wand Dance this year.
I was
'Cause
half expecting it.
I don't know if I've just gotten that used to them sort of being there that I should have expected it, but I get that other people have got to do different things. But I was disappointed that they didn't do the Wand Dance this year. Absolutely loved the interview with the actors who played Ron and Hermione, and I am pretty sure I seen them both play the roles when I seen the play in early 2020, and they were fabulous, absolutely wonderful.
But yeah, I found actually like their interview was really good, and actually it gave you a bit of kind of backstory about themselves. So actually how long they've been playing their roles, and I didn't realize how long Tom Aldridge had actually been playing Ron.
Yeah,
Like he's been doing it for ages now.
he certainly has, and I really like him as Ron. I hope he stays for a long time to come.
I'm sure he will. I think these are one of those roles where you will just keep doing this unless you want to do something else yourself. This is something you're going to keep doing.
Yeah.
So at the end of the kind of event, we had a lot of Lego being given out. So it was a lot of kind of potluck. And then we ended up having a bit of a scavenger hunt, which we all kind of went around. And I think we ended up giving up on.
I think so, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, the prize was tickets to The Cursed Child, which I feel a bit sad that I didn't finish it because part of me feels that I would have won it.
But we did get a bit distracted actually going off and doing our own thing, which is what Back to Hogwarts is all about. We ended up going off, getting group photos, going off with a large group. And actually, that is, for me, what makes the day.
Exactly, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was such a great morning. I think I would definitely have stayed longer if I could have.
Oh yeah, certainly I would have as well. It was funny though because I was speaking to Thomas, one of our friends at White Noise on Instagram, and it got to the end of the day and we were just so exhausted and we both looked at each other and we just went, my social battery is drained, but also recharged at the same time. Emotionally, I felt recharged, but I was drained at the same time because it was such a full-on day.
It's just about topping up like 1% and then it uses it again.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I know exactly what you mean. It is one of those days where I just don't want the day to end, but at the same time, I am just socially exhausted.
Yeah.
But again, it's an event that I'd happily go back to year after year.
Yeah. And I certainly will go back next year.
Absolutely same here. So with all of that wrapped up and we've gone back to Hogwarts and we've celebrated the 1st of September, we will be moving on to chapter 6, the journey from platform 9 3/4, and physically within the books, head back to Hogwarts.
Woo!
So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Wizarding Wireless Network. And as always, make sure to keep your radios tuned in for next week's episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye.